All right. Well, we have had somewhere in the neighborhood of 3.5 inches of rain this week, so beans are out of the question this weekend. That ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna need at least 4 or 5 days to dry them out, not with the temperatures we're supposed to be getting now. So that being said, I'm glad I'm far along as I am. I've only got what, 14 acres left between 2 fields, and 11 and a 4. So, and the 11's gonna be some nice beans. But anyway, the only field that I got a chance in hell of getting across is this guy right here, because this one's got tile on it, or under it, I should say. So, gonna give it a shot. I'm obviously getting started a little late today. I wasn't too gung-ho about trying this because I thought it was gonna be too wet. When I came over and walked around in that a little bit before I brought the combine over, and it wasn't terrible. So I'm gonna try it. If I start cutting ruts, I'm gonna quit, because it's only October and there's really no need to be making a mess out of a field like that yet. So gotta fuel this old girl up, if I can get this thing to do what I want it to, and then turn you like, come out like so ish, hopefully. Already greased it, so that part's done. Key, which one is the other key? The 525. Wrong lock. The 525 got new rubber on it this week. So when I do get back to cutting beans, you'll see that. I almost videoed putting the tires on it, but I was trying to get it done in the morning. It took me 3 days to get it done. There's no more to get started on it, and then I actually put everything away and go to work. So, but yeah, the 525's got new tires on it now. Talk more about that when I actually start cutting beans and you can see them on the combine. Really, that's all that happened this week. That was the big project. Couldn't really do much else because it was raining so damn much. One of them came, what night was it? Wednesday, I guess it would have been early Wednesday morning. It dropped 1.5 inches in like an hour. It was bad. Damn roof at the house started leaking. That was yesterday's project. I put some flashing on it to try to fix it. Well, put a band-aid on it. The actual fix is going to come next year or next summer. I got a valley I want to eliminate completely in the roof line because it was stupid that they put it there to begin with. But anyway, get some fuel in this thing and go poke at it and see where we're at. Well, corn yields are already looking up. I made one pass down and one pass back on these end rows and already put a bigger pile in the hopper than the whole 2 acres did out on the highway. And don't count these as ruts, because that's all. Dad came in here this summer and put a tile in, and that's all fresh fill, so I was expecting that to be a little soft. But anyway, let's see where we're at. This was testing 20 to 21 on Monday, so granted it didn't do any more drying over the week, I doubt. It's shelling nice though. It's nice and clean. $21.5. I think that means it's time to send it. Because in all reality, it's nice to have, like, you know, oh, hey, check this shit out. Spot well's broke. Might have to fix that real quick. In all reality, it's nice to get this stuff down to, you know, 16, 17% so you don't get docked so hard. But as far as practicality is concerned, from a shelling standpoint, your sweet spot is between about 19 and 21. And probably 19 and 22. Because at that point, it's dry enough that it's real easy to get off the cob and it'll shell easy going through the machine, but it's still wet enough that you won't get near the amount of loss at the header that you do if it starts dropping below 19. So if you start getting below 19, it starts butt shelling real bad, and the drier it gets, the worse it gets. So it's a double-edged sword. You can shell it a little wet, you don't lose near as much. You take a little bit of a hit at the elevator, or you wait, you let it dry down, you get a bunch of loss at the head, but you don't get docked at the elevator, but then you also get a crap ton of volunteer corn. So like I say, it's a double-edged sword. But I do think I'm gonna fix that right quick before I lose my damn shield. Alright, I got that head taken care of, so now we might actually get somewhere. Mine's not bread loaf, but I ain't gonna get a whole lot more in there. And I don't really have a whole lot done. If I got maybe 2 acres, I doubt it's full 2 acres, but definitely doing a lot better than the first little bit of corn we ran there. Doing too bad. I got 3 passes up through them long rows that split this front section and that back section, so everything's all opened up. I got the end rows all off. Unfortunately, about like you would expect in a drought year, that hill in the back is not doing as good as this low ground up front, so that's gonna kind of hurt my overall average. If everything was doing as good as the low ground up here in the front, we'd have something. But unfortunately, Dad had to work this morning, so I'm flying solo, and I got 2 trucks full, and I'm the only one to drive it, so probably need to go down and get them unloaded. I think if I get them both empty, they should all fit, or the rest of that should all fit in both trucks. It'll be close. Wish I had more ground that good. We'll see how the average goes this year, but to tell you, we'll determine just how fucked up this year was when we get the average off of it. But 2 years ago when I had corn out there, the last time, that field averaged 203. If I remember right. It was 200 even or 203. Those 2 numbers stick in my head, but it was 200 something. I don't think we're gonna quite hit that this year because that hill out back took a hit from the drought, but definitely better than the first 10 acres of corn I ran. All right, well, I got both loads hauled in. My truck had 291 and Dad's truck had 313. You got to use the bottom number. You can't use the top number unless you just want to feel good about yourself. The top number is actual bushels hauled in. The bottom number would be bushels if it was dried down to 15%. So the bottom number is your moisture calculation. So 604 bushels so far. The impressive part is the 56.7 pound test weight on a 20% moisture. Normally the higher the moisture, the lower your test weight. So to be getting 56 pound test weight out of 20% corn, this was probably 60 pound corn if you'd have dried it down to 16%. This is some good shit. Brad's truck's got a pretty good pile in it. My truck's full. And we are done. Unfortunately, I can tell you right now, we didn't make 200 bushel an acre. I'd have had to fill both trucks again to do that. But if that back hill would have done what, like from the bottom, that little knoll right there, from like the bottom of that all the way forward, that back half, that's about 3 acres back there, and this is about 3 acres up here. If that would have done what this front half did, oh, this would have been probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 215 to 220. But I'm guessing we're probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 180-ish. But we got enough time to get both trucks down to the elevator before they close, so I can tell you here in a minute. Well, just got back from the elevator. Final tally was like 1,179 bushel. Which, you do the math on this field, it comes out to 181.3 bushel an acre. Which, for the summer we had, I am not going to complain about that one bit. That was really good. Especially for back there, because you can see, you know, there's a wet spot right there that didn't grow anything. There's a wet spot up there in that corner, didn't grow anything. There's a big wet spot along that back that didn't grow anything. The top of that hill had a bunch of wind damage on it. So the back half of this field lost quite a bit of corn, and it still made 180 bushel an acre. I'm really happy with that. So, but unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to call her quits for the weekend on harvesting, because I don't think I have any more ground I can safely get over. Well, I can get over anything safely. I'd get over it without rutting the hell out of it, because we're still only the 3rd week in October. It's not to the point yet where you need to go out and rut the hell out of a field to try to get harvest done. We still got 5 more weeks yet for snow flies, as long as we don't get an early snow. If we get an early snow, I'm probably gonna give up on life. And I'm gonna go check the beans tonight, but I highly doubt. I mean, we didn't have it rained last night, or I guess it'd be really early this morning. And we didn't really have much in the way of wind or sun throughout the day. I highly doubt I can run any beans. I got one field of corn that I could probably run, but it's got, like, I was pawing coming up that hill, and I was sliding coming down that hill a little bit. And the next field that is possible to go to has a hill in it that is twice as steep as that, and I just do not feel like messing around on slick, slimy ground with a half-loaded combine and sliding down. Nope. It can wait another few days. But what that means is the point, or we're gonna hit the point that a lot of guys have probably been waiting since I put the first video of the Heart Par up 4 or 5 years ago, however long ago that was. I think that means tomorrow the Heart Par's gonna have to come out, and she's gonna have to go to work, get these stalks chopped. So that's probably gonna be what's happening tomorrow, at least in the morning. They're talking chances of rain again tomorrow afternoon, but that's our last chance of rain in the forecast, at least as far out as the 15-day goes. That's obviously subject to change, but it's a lot better looking than this week was, because this week it rained every single night. Like every single night, at almost the exact same time every single night it rained. So I was actually impressed I got over this ground as good as I did. Thank God for tile. This field is proof that tile is worth every single cent. And also, this was proof of just how handy that grain cart is to have. So first half of the day, I was running by myself, and it took me 3 hours to fill both trucks running by myself with just the combine. I got back from dumping the first round of trucks, and Dad was done working, so he came out and helped me with the cart. I filled both trucks in like an hour and 20 minutes. There's everybody, most everybody on here thinks that cart's cool as shit, but there are a few people that seem to think that us putting that cart together was retarded and a waste of money. Well, cutting the harvest, or cutting your run time in half loading trucks, that was worth it. So, and I guess we're gonna end this video on a story time, because I got to thinking about it while I was out here shelling today. So the guy that used to live in that house right there, which goes with that block garage right there, his name was Bob, and he grew up on a small farm just I think just southwest of here a little ways. If I remember right, it's where his parents' farm was. And then he spent his working life as a heavy equipment operator for Reith Riley Construction, which most of you probably won't know who that is, but Reith Riley in the Midwest is a fairly large excavation contractor. They do a lot of road building work, stuff like that. So he was a heavy equipment operator for them, and when he retired out of that, he just tinkered around and did cool shit. But Bob always liked to come out and watch us when we were running out here. Unfortunately, he passed away, I think it was 4 years ago now, because I'm pretty sure he passed away my senior year of college. But he was a cool old dude. I mean, built like a beanpole. He's built about like me, skinny as hell, but he was about probably 6 inches taller than me, just skinny as a rail. Lanky, long arms, long legs. Dude was just not a whole lot to him, but nicest guy you ever met in your life. Real soft spoken. Didn't really, I guess when he was younger he could get riled pretty easy, but I guess he calmed down in his old age, and it took a lot to get him riled. But anyway, Bob always liked to come out here and watch us run. Every time I was out here doing something, he'd open his garage up, and if he wasn't already out there, he'd come out of the house and open that first garage door up, and he'd sit there in his lawn chair and drink a beer and watch me while I was out here doing stuff. If I remember right, PBR was his beer of choice, if I remember right. But I think there was one time we pissed him off, and it's not because we did anything wrong. It would have been probably 9 years ago, because I think it was the second year I ran the 525, and it was back when I was still farming with my friends, Matt and Ron. We had beans out here, and I forget, we had been cutting earlier that day, and we got over here and it was late. It was probably, probably a little later than it is now. And we were hoping to get to field, or we were hoping to run before the beans got tough. Well, it was a pretty calm evening, and the dew set really quick, and it set really early. And Bob had been working out in his shop, and I saw him. He closed his, he must have been done for the day, closed the garage all up, went in the house. And so we get out here and start running. At that point, I had the 525, and my buddy Matt had his 3300 Deere, and we were out here cutting beans. Actually, I guess that would have been Ron's 3300, because Matt's was set up for corn. So I was running my 525 and my buddy Ron's 3300 Deere, and it seems like we were just getting that back square opened up, and I mean that dew came on like that. And sure as shit, Ron slugged that 3300 just tight. And So meanwhile, we had come out here and made our first round, and Bob must have heard the combines out here running, so he skipped back out to his garage and opened the door up and sat down in his lawn chair and cracked a beer and was gonna sit out here and watch us cut beans. And I don't think we were out here 5 minutes and Ron slugged that combine, and we took him back up behind the pine trees there and parked him, and I don't think Bob made 2 sips out of that beer and we were done for the night. I think that's the only time we ever pissed him off, because he was all set to sit out here and watch us run beans and we couldn't. So, but that was just a little story I was reminded of while I was out here shelling corn. Kind of miss Bob. He was a cool old dude. It's kind of not the same not having him out here watching, but I'm sure he's still up there looking and watching what's going on around here. So anyway, that's story time. Probably made this video kind of long, and I need to get this thing blown off and back over to the barn since we're not going to shell any more corn this weekend. So I guess that does it for this one, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.